Welcome to episode number 304 of the Beyond Social Media Show, the podcast for all of you marketing, advertising, public relations, and communications professionals. You can find us by searching for Beyond Social Media Show. We are recording live on YouTube on April 18, 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, and lots of things to talk about this week, as we do every week, including Twitter food banks and pandemic care packages, Umms data masterclass. Yep, I need a haircut. Lego wedding, gerbil art, VR fitness, Whirlpool chores, music analytics, Staying Sane, Transcribers of Reddit, Gmail Meet, Bring Me the Correction, and media consumption changes. Some stats that you'll want to stick around for at the end of the show. But we started off with the best story of the week, as we do every week. And BL, as we do every week, has the honors. BL, what was the best story?
Well, Twitter's trending hashtag today is Twitter Food Bank. And this is as social media can get and as good as social media can get. So Bill Plute, who is the philanthropist, who is the inventor of Twitter philanthropy. I had not heard of him before. He has 2 million followers. He gives money, food, and rent to people in need. And apparently he's in the habit of giving out huge sums of money to total strangers. So the premise is simple. Families in need tweet using the hashtag Twitter Food Bank. They explain how they're struggling economically. They leave their account name with Square's Cash App, and that allows strangers to send them money. Twitter Food Bank has been championed by Team Giving, which says it's inspired by Plute's habit of giving these large sums of money to strangers on Twitter, and that it's received seed funding from him. So he said this afternoon, in the last 24 hours, you and me raised $43,277 on Twitter to feed over 1,150 people and 430 families. Team Giving has been soliciting donations through its Cash App, which is $TG. And says it's sending money in $100 increments to families using the hashtag to express their need. Team Giving retweeted families receiving the $100 all day with their pictures, their names. Recipient families have been posting their overjoyed tweets and videos expressing their gratitude. So, it doesn't get better than that.
Well, that's absolutely. I can't top that, but this is. I mean, that's actual food. Here's food for thought. This is from Pat, a longtime listener, pointed this out to me. It comes from Steakums, the CPG brand of frozen steaks. On their Twitter account earlier this month, posted basically a masterclass on what we need to know in this disinformation age. And I'm just going to read the thread because it's just fantastic. And it's completely out of character for a food brand to do this, but here goes. Friendly reminder, in times of uncertainty and misinformation, anecdotes are not data. Good data is carefully measured and collected information based on a range of subject-dependent factors, including but not limited to controlled variables, meta-analysis, and randomization. Outliers attempting to counter global consensus around this pandemic with amateur reporting or unverified sourcing are not collecting data. Breaking stories that only relay initial findings of an event that are not collecting data. We have to be careful in our media consumption. It can be difficult to know what to believe in a time when institutional trust is diminished and the gatekeepers of information have been dismantled, but it's more crucial now than ever before to follow a range of credentialed sources for both breaking news and data collection. All we currently have are limited and evolving metrics that experts are deciphering and acting upon immediately to the best of their ability. This terrain leaves many openings for opportunists and charismatic manipulators to lead people astray by exploiting what they want to hear. Breaking news and storytelling will always be spun with interpretive bias from different media perspectives, but data is a science that can't be replaced by one-off anecdotes. Try to remember this to avoid fear-based sensationalism or conspiracy theories taking over your mind. You can maintain independent, critical thinking toward institutions without dipping into fringe conspiracies that get jump-started by individual anecdotes being virally spread as data. It's not easy, but it's necessary to keep any semblance of responsible online information flow. We're a frozen meat brand posting ads inevitably made to misdirect people and generate sales. So this is peak irony, but hey, we live in a society, so please make informed decisions to the best of your ability and don't let anecdotes dictate your worldview, okay? Stake 'em, bless. It's just
fabulous.
Yes.
You know, I'm in a course right now via New York City and the Kaufman Foundation for women entrepreneurs over 50. And just the other day, people were saying, well, I don't go on social media because, you know, you don't know what's true. And I said, because you have to do your research. You have to vet the information. You have to know who to follow. You have to pay attention. You know, and people were like, that's too much work. Okay, so I have another food related story, which this one made me so happy. This was sent to me by my friend Rona, but it's from a story in New York Eater. And the reporters are Luke Fortney and Serena Dye. And top New York restaurants are selling care packages and birthday party meals that you can order online. And so local restaurants, bakeries, and other food businesses are offering new box sets and launching make-it-yourself kits at home to boost sales during the downturn. And so thankful, chocolate relief kits are included. I am ordering one.
Well, the Easter Bunny came to my house and left a lot of chocolate as well. With all this talk of food and eating and staying indoors and not being able to go play my weekly football or go play racquetball and get some exercise, you know, it's a recipe for disaster. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that way. So I came across this Mashable video about a company called Icaros, I think is what they're called. Icaros or Icaros, not sure. But it is basically fitness plus flight simulation VR. So it is a fitness device, like, you know, I don't know fitness devices. I just play games to get my fitness. But it's a workout device anyway, coupled with a VR headset. So it's a headset you put on, use your phone for the app, and then you get into this device, and it's flight simulation. So the experience through the headset you're experiencing is you're flying around and you move into this device, and it's basically put you in a plank position. So you're getting core strength by moving around playing this game. And in the game, you're just trying to zoom through these little circles. And you get a hell of a workout from doing it too. So it's fun, which is my whole thing about working out. I want to play a game to do it because otherwise it sucks. It takes your mind off the exercise by focusing on playing a video game, and you're getting actual good exercise. So it's a little pricey though. I did check out the prices, and they're selling it in euros. I have no idea what the translation is, but I think it starts at 1,400 euros, which sounds like a lot.
I think that's a lot, yeah.
So, but it looks cool. It looks really cool.
My dog Lucy and I do Zumba, which is online, and we dance around. Lucy's a really great dance partner. She loves to dance. And as soon as I get up and start dancing, she's right there. So we do that every day, and we walk 3 miles every morning to go to the park. And otherwise, I would be in an institution right now because.
Does Lucy know swing dancing?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly not. And all the swing dancing of the summer has been canceled. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is anyway, right about now, all of us probably need a haircut. So for $18, there's a site called YouProbablyNeedAHaircut.com that pairs you with a world-class barber or hairstylist from across the world to video chat you through giving yourself your own haircut or coaching your friend to give you a haircut. And they range from $18 all the way up to $75. But so how it works, it depends on what you need. You can have just a trim, you can have bang cutting, or you can actually have a whole haircut guidance. But first you have to find a pair of hair cutting scissors and razors. Then you book an appointment, and then you video chat with the stylist who coaches you or your friend through your session. And then at the end, you're supposed to look great. And there are examples of, people who did it. And some of them do look great and some of them don't.
I would be one of the latter. I definitely need a haircut. There's a reason I'm wearing caps, and whenever I'm wearing a cap, you can tell that it's because I haven't had my haircut recently. But I haven't had my haircut a long time, and I have a serious colic. So the front part of my head, the top of my head, my hair, it looks like I have a horn sticking out of my head right now.
It's
because
adorable.
my hair just goes straight up like that. It's ridiculous. So that wouldn't help me. I need a professional to cut my hair. So I can't have a friend do it or a girlfriend do it. That was a mistake. I had that happen one time. To do it.
Not a good haircutter.
Yeah, I mean, she's not a professional, so I got what I asked for. But yeah, and even the professionals need a couple of times to get it right, to figure out my hair. So that's not going to work for me. What I'm going to do, I think I'm going to look on Amazon for a clipper, and I'm just going to shave my hair off and go bald for a while because it's driving me crazy.
Well, I was going to suggest that, actually.
Really? Because everybody else tells me, no, you can't do that.
No, it'll look cool. It'll look cool. I mean, you have such nice hair, and your cowlick is not horrible. And none of us like how we look. That's what's wrong with us. But anyway, I came upon in My Modern Met, which is just such a wonderful site, a bored couple. They made a tiny little art museum for their pet gerbils, whose names are Pandoro and Tiramisu. And so the guy, Filippo Lorenzen, is an independent curator at London's Victoria and Albert Museum, so he knows a little bit about what he's doing. And the artist Mariana Benetti, the couple spent one lazy Sunday on their 14th day in quarantine, which we can all relate to, meticulously hand-making these incredibly detailed miniature galleries from cardboard, paper, and wood. So the opening exhibition features gerbil versions of famous artworks, including Girl with a Pearl Earring and The Scream. And it has little cardboard benches and a sign that says, "Please don't chew the benches." And
don't chew the art.
Yeah, because the two little gerbils are captured on a video, and they're enjoying a private viewing of the show. However, they clearly like breaking the rules, so they were taking. There's another video that shows them taking tiny chunks out of the cardboard stool. And so Lorenzen and Panetti say they came for the paintings and they stayed for the stool.
So one of
That's bored, all right.
One of the gerbils' names is
Tiramisu.
Are you sure it's not tiramisu, like the dessert?
Yeah, tiramisu. What's the difference?
I'm just curious.
I like tiramisu. Dessert. Okay. Yeah, I like it too. It's great dessert.
Here's another art project. This is from Petapixels, Michael Zhang. There is a UK wedding photographer named Chris Wallace who, can't shoot wedding photography anymore. So in order to stay creative, he staged and shot a wedding using Lego minifigurines. So there are just brilliant photos of this wedding ceremony. There's a ceremony, there's staged and edited poses that the couples typically request, like couple floating in the air and the rain falling and everything. So it's brilliant. We'll put a link of it in the show notes so you can see the entire collection.
Well, President Cuomo announced during his daily briefing today that you can now in New York get married online. You can get your marriage license via Zoom, and you can and get married, the justice of the peace can marry you. So, you know,
we should check in on the drone couple and see if they've married from a couple of episodes back.
Oh yeah, we should. So Whirlpool has done something kind of cool. They created the Kids Chore Club. So you know, you're teaching your kids how to do their homework. You can also teach them everyday chores while they're at home. So this is from Campaign Live. It's a story by Lindsay Stein, and it was created with Digitas, and it focuses on making everyday life skills and chores like cooking and cleaning part of your children's new at-home learning routines. And so Whirlpool and Digitas teamed up with Sean Lowe, who's from The Bachelor and one of my favorite shows, and and a father of three. And they produced a video of him teaching his toddler how to do laundry while practicing counting. And it uses the hashtag Chore Club, and it got 1.2 million views in 2 days on Instagram. So what a good idea.
All right. Yeah. I got something that's not pandemic related.
Okay.
This is from The Verge's Danny Deal, I believe is how you pronounce the last name. Amazon Music has a new app for musicians called Amazon Music for Artists. Spotify and Apple Music have similar tools for artists that gives insights and stats about their fans' listening habits. But Amazon, of course, has a different set of data that neither of those two have, which is voice data. So they are voices increasingly driving music discovery. So people ask their smart speaker for a song and get it played on the smart speaker. And who has that data? Amazon does, and then Google Home also has it. But the Amazon for Music app it comes both in iOS and Android, and there's a website for it at artist.amazonmusic.com. The app gives top level and granular insights, so you can find out how many of your songs total listens there were, the performance over the last 24 hours, where fans are based location wise, real-time streaming data, which fans engage the most with your music, and then what playlists and stations that your songs appear in. The data goes back to 2018, and it refreshes every couple of hours. But additionally, you can see how you as a musician, how you're trending on the Echo. So you get the total number of voice requests and the ways that people request your song. So people will ask for a song by artists, obviously, by album. I often do that. I want to hear a whole album, by song, or by lyrics. So that's a new way of discovering music. Remember the Shazam app or whatever, that you could turn it on and listen to music and tell you what song it is.
Yeah.
So people remember songs not necessarily by the title, but by the lyrics. So
Sure.
they'll search for the lyrics, and that's another way of doing it. So this is pretty cool.
What happened to Shazam?
It's still around, I believe. I've got it in my app. I can't remember the last time I used it on my phone.
So this is the category Ways to Stay Sane. We covered a lot of resources for the quarantine, but Ivy League schools are often offering a combined 450 free online courses, and many other universities are also putting popular courses online. 1.5 million people have already registered for Yale's famous happiness course, which I really need to sign up for. This is from an Axios story by Naomi Shavin. And New York's Museum of Modern Art is offering free classes. They include What is Contemporary Art, Fashion as Design, the Barnes Museum in Philadelphia. It launched Barnes Takeout, a series of short online lectures that focus on a single work of art. And from symphony halls to Broadway theaters, performances are streaming past performances and information talks. So, you know, if life of the mind gets to be too much, there's all these online gyms and exercise programs, and they're offering free online videos too. I haven't checked them out though, so I wouldn't know.
All right, so this is a very cool story. I've been meaning to talk about it for a while, but then the pandemic came around. We had to switch focus, but I'm going to talk about it now. This is from a Wired article by Alex Lee, and it's about Reddit. And we don't often talk about Reddit in a positive way, but now I'm going to. So this story talks about these people on Reddit who are they're transcribing Reddit. So buried inside the comments section, you'll often find on Reddit elaborate descriptions of image posts, videos, or screenshots and memes. And that's a result of the transcribers of Reddit. They're volunteers who have a subreddit called Transcribers of Reddit, who voluntarily type out extremely detailed descriptions of various content so that visually impaired people can understand that content. So the goal is making Reddit and the internet as a whole is a more accessible place. There's a quote from one of the volunteers, a guy named Jake. He's a 17-year-old student in the U.S. Said it's always very nice to volunteer for Transcribers of Reddit because while it's easy to do, it helps a lot of people. I've transcribed quite a few videos for the R blind community. They take a bit of time, but in the end, it's always nothing but positive replies. Joe Caulfield and James Coe are the two guys who started it. And they started it just by noticing that each other were transcribing Reddit content. So they were doing it themselves, noticed that, hey, there's another person who's transcribing content, and decided to start a subreddit that took hold. So they had 30 volunteers by the end of the day, 100 volunteers by the end of the month. And there's a quote from Caulfield. He says it took off. And then a moderator of one of the subreddits reached out to him and told him the impact that the Transcribers of Reddit had. He set us down and explained that the kinds of things that we were doing just to pass the time actually meant things to people who didn't have access to the same kinds of content that we did, the same ability to join in the conversation. That actually kind of set the tone for everything we did moving forward. So once a transcription has been completed, it gets cross-posted to RTOR_archive. So Transcribers of Reddit archive. And that's a place where visually impaired users know to go to find descriptions of things that they can't otherwise access. And then there's also a subreddit called R Description Please, which is for people to place requests for help. For volunteers to transcribe visual content that they wouldn't otherwise be able to see.
That's wonderful.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I really love that. So this is nowhere near as good as that, but Google Meet is now available in all G Suite customers' Gmail. So that means you can start and join a meeting right from your inbox, and it doesn't have to be just people within your organization. You can invite people. So the source of this is Peggy K's Tips and Tricks, which is a wonderful weekly newsletter. And Google says our goal is to help you follow the flow of the day seamlessly, switching between email and video, whichever form of communication you need. So you can stay on your email and have a video chat, which you used to be able to do, and then they took it away. So if you're a G Suite user, there are new features that are coming. The option to start or join a meeting directly from Gmail. Later this month, up to 16-person grid layout, improved video quality, and filtered background noise. The public conferencing platform at the moment is Zoom, and while these are Zoom-like changes that they're making, it's limited to businesses and schools, and so it's going to be less widespread. Once you're in the meeting, you can invite people to join and remove people during the meeting, to invite people outside your organization who haven't already been added to a calendar event. Someone from your organization has to give them access to the meeting. It's just available now in Gmail on the web, and a mobile app is coming. So that's a good change.
Very good.
They brought back, they give us things and take them away, and it's a good time to bring back some other things too while you're at it.
Google often giveth and taketh away.
Yes,
That's
they
kind
do.
of their thing.
Yeah. Got more?
I don't.
Well, I have another one that relates to video conferencing, and this is from Discord, which is an app that was really created for gamers, but they've added an AI noise canceling feature to the conferencing platform. This is from their blog, and I love the name of the reporter. It's Nelly, Chief Robot Hamster and Eater of Cheeses. So it's seeing a 250% increase in users who aren't gamers during the pandemic. And so they said on the blog, we're seeing regions impacted by COVID-19 turn to us to stay in touch with their friends and families. And so yesterday we highlighted some of the amazing ways that that they've turned to Discord in these times, like virtual classrooms, remote working, online workout classes, and weekly D&D game nights. So the new tech is really interesting. It detects and removes background noises happening around you, so your voice can be heard clearly.
So we can get rid of your sirens.
Yes, maybe. So if there's it says if there's a vacuum running in the background, or if somebody slams a door, or you ruffle a bag of potato chips, and you can keep using your really loud keyboard that your friends complain about, they won't be able to hear it. And so heads up, no voice, user, video, or any data is ever sent or shared outside of Discord. And Crisp, which is the AI app, runs on your device to cancel out noise, but no data is ever sent to their servers under any circumstances, is what they said. So it arrived, and it will roll out to 100% of desktop users. It's in early beta, but they're working on mobile support, and they decided to release it early because people need it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, cool.
Every platform needs it. And well, Gmail says, Google says they're adding it. We'll see.
All right. Any other good stuff? Because I'm done.
No, and I don't have any bad news.
I have one. I have one bad, kind of amusing bad example. This is from Rick, another longtime listener. We in Minnesota, we have a news outlet. It's kind of, I guess I'd call it the Huffington Post minus the liberal slant of local news outlets. They don't really report original news. They kind of compile already reported stuff. Anyway, they have a newsletter called, the outlet is called Bring Me the News, and they have a newsletter called Bring Me the Newsletter. And Rick forwarded me this email that he got from the newsletter recently. It has at the top, correction to earlier email newsletter. This morning's Bring Me the Newsletter went out with an error in the subheading beneath the headline, What Health Officials Have Learned About COVID-19 Deaths in Minnesota. The subhead reading, the 29-year-old's body was dumped in a remote Woodbury location, was a placeholder for our newsletter template and relates to a story more than a year old. It would ordinarily be replaced with relevant subheading, but in this instance, it was overlooked. We apologize for the error and for any confusion/fear caused. So let that be a warning to you. Be very, very careful with your templates.
God, that's crazy. Well, in New York, they're dumping people in refrigerated trucks, so anyhow, I don't have any shiny new stuff either.
All right, I got a couple. GitHub. This is from The Verge's Nick Stat. Microsoft has acquired GitHub a while ago. So it's a software hosting site, if you're not familiar. And it's used by developers, software developers, obviously. So they have recently reduced their prices on their team subscription, which previously cost $9 a month and now is $4 a user per month. Existing paid customers are automatically moved to the new pricing model. But for those who want to use the GitHub for private development, you used to have to pay a per user price, but now you'll be able to sign up for a free version that gives you access to unlimited collaborators, so you can have people collaborating on your software development on private repositories of code. The previous free version gave you unlimited repositories, but they had to be public. So obviously, people who are in startups or small companies, and they won't want their code to be proprietary, are not going to be using that. So if you're a code developer, then this is a nice new resource for you. And then, last but not least, and the shiniest new stuff is 3 free months of free guitar lessons. 3 months of free guitar lessons from Fender. Fender has a cool app called Fender Play. It's available on iOS, Android, and you can use it on the web, which teaches you how to play guitar, or bass guitar, or ukulele as well. So you can pick popular songs and learn them, and it shows you how to play them. I haven't tried it out yet. It looks like it's for beginners, but I'm going to try it out definitely because, hey, 3 months of free guitar lessons, I can always learn something new.
Sure. Oh, I wish they had banjo. I got a banjo sitting in the corner. Yeah, I used to play the banjo.
Yes. Well, you could pick up guitar easily.
I didn't pick up the banjo too easily.
Okay, maybe
But
not.
I took lessons from Tony Trischka, who is one of the premier banjo players on this planet. And I just you know what actually happened is I got my first dog, and the hour or two a day that I used to have for playing the banjo, learning to play the banjo, became learning to play the puppy. So I kind of stopped. But I went to the Banjo Institute, which took place in the forest outside of Nashville, and there were 300 banjo players. Happens every year. 300 banjo players from all over the world. That's where I met Tony Trischka, and they played everything from classical music to Bela Fleck was there playing with Tony Trischka. They played classical music, jazz, rock and roll. I mean, this, and we did banjo from 9 in the morning until 3 in the morning, and then you'd start again. It was the most fun of anything, but in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods.
Why is it held in a forest?
I don't know, but that's where it was. I mean, there were, you know,
Are there buildings?
yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, it was in a state park, actually.
Okay.
But it was in the summer, and it turned out to be cold, and nobody had the right clothes. That was sort of difficult. But what music! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I've not really been. I mean, I don't dislike banjo, but I haven't been a big fan of banjo for whatever reason. But there's a folk artist. I can't remember her name, but she does a cover of one of the Bob Dylan songs that is just amazing. I will find it and put it in the show notes. She's a fantastic banjo player. But yeah, sorry, name's blanking, but it reminded me of that, and it's a fantastic song.
Yeah,
So.
my thing was playing blues on the banjo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so much fun. Yeah.
So projects, we have a new website. It has taken me this has been a project in the works for like it seems like a year, but it's actually probably been 3 or 4 months. But I have had to upgrade my server and move all of my websites to the new server, and it's been exceedingly painful. Because I have a lot of websites, and I've been publishing on them for years. So there's a lot of content and everything. But in the process of moving all my websites to the new upgraded server, we also moved Beyond Social Media Show there, and we have a new design, and it's fully encrypted, and it works. It's very fast. So check it out, beyondsocialmediashow.com. And our new format for the blog posts or for the episode posts are full width, and it's a lot of room to breathe for our content, full screen videos and everything. So we're really excited about it. Check it out.
It's beautiful. It really is, Dave. You did such a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I have a little political something. And this is a video from Founder Singh, and it's Cuomo facing off with Trump to the tune of "A Little Help from My Friends," and it's absolutely freaking hilarious. So I will post it in the blog. But I don't know if you get to watch President Cuomo's briefings, but the other morning while he was talking, the president tweeted that President Cuomo complains too much and he should stop talking and he should go to work. And Cuomo says, well, if the president's sitting around watching TV, maybe he should go to work. I love him.
Yeah, so is this based on that diatribe that
no, this
Cuomo
was
had?
before. This was before. I mean, they've been
that was like tonic for the soul, listening to Cuomo go off, because it was extended.
Oh, he went on for an hour. I mean, and he was so right. I mean, I was like, cheering at my TV, sitting there with my puppy, cheering while he was talking. That's my boyfriend, didn't you know? So, okay, that's all I got.
Right.
Oh, I have something for you.
Right.
This is for you. 25 essential Prince songs that are in Rolling Stone right now.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean,
You know them all, but I mean, here they are all in one place.
But every Prince song is essential. So
well, yeah, but some are more essential than others.
That's true. That's true. All right, I'll check it out, definitely. So it is coming up on the 21st. It will be the anniversary of his death. I'll share. I have a blog post on why he was such a creative genius that I'll share in the link with a link in the show notes as well, alongside the 25 essential songs. Pro tip, I have a post that I completed yesterday, in-depth post on video conferencing best practices that includes 8 pro tips for you to shine online. And I'll just put a link of that in the show notes for people to check out when they want to. And let's wrap this up. Daily numbers.
Wait. I'm going to post that in the Slack for my course because we have 22 people in the Zoom, and at least 2/3 of them are either blurry or in the dark or have no picture at all. So I will post that.
All right, cool. Thank you. So again, more numbers. We're just going to continue to, as I find these, I'm going to continue to talk about, and then this is not the daily numbers. This is the weekly numbers. So BL, we're officially calling this segment the weekly numbers. I don't know why I called them the daily numbers. It was originally from a podcast that I had called the Daily Numbers and a newsletter. But yeah, this is weekly. So that's a misnomer.
Just apropos our new blog. Yeah.
Weekly numbers. So this is how COVID-19 is affecting media consumption and online behavior. And we're just going to get these numbers are going to come in because everything's changing. So we need to know how they're changing as marketers. This is from Global Web Index, which if you don't use it, it's a fantastic source of marketing data. This is the percentage of people who say they've started consuming or are consuming more of the following types of content since the outbreak. And they have it broken out by US, United Kingdom. They have it broken out by generation, by gender, and by higher and lower income. So we'll put the chart of this in the show notes so that people can see all the numbers. But I'll just, at the top and the bottom, the top things that people are more consuming, broadcast TV. That makes absolute sense. And we need to know what's going on with the pandemic. So people are tuning in when there's breaking news or there's news you need to know. People go to broadcast TV to find out about that. Online videos, YouTube, online TV, streaming films, online press. So those are all top things that people are consuming more of. At the bottom of the stuff that people are consuming less of is what they call physical press, which I presume means print media, newspapers and magazines and print. So that's at the very bottom. Podcasts, again, we talked about that in previous episode, how people's commutes are taken away, so not as much time to devote to podcasts as before. Books and literature. So there's a bottom 3, but this is interesting data, especially across the different categories that they have broken out by. So we will include that in the show notes at beyondsocialmediashow.com/304.
Well, that brings us to the end of episode 304 of the Beyond Social Media Show. And to find us, all you have to do is search Beyond Social Media Show. Links to everything we're talking about today and videos and anything else you need will be at beyondsocialmediashow.com/304. And I'm here with David Erickson. Excuse me. Who's on Twitter as D Erickson, on Instagram as DE Erickson, and YouTube eStrategy, and he blogs at eStrategy Blog, which is a great blog you should be following. I am BL Ockman. I'm What's Next on Twitter. I blog at What's Next Blog. What's Next Blog on YouTube. I have a website, blockman.com. And my puppy, Lucy the Rescue Puppy, is on Instagram. Beyond Social Media Show, beyondsocialmediashow.com. And on Twitter, we're at BS Media Show. Listen to the Beyond Social Media Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, we're there. And we'll be back next week.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. It says we're still live.